Hello, everyone. Good evening. Nice to have you all here. I'm Glory Joseph, and I'm pleased to welcome you to the first series of the New Weeks Coaching Series. Joining me live today are guest speakers, amiable ones. Don't worry, get to meet them because of the discussion. So I'm happy to have you all here. So the theme of this first series is meeting the challenges of the first year of legal practice. Let me quickly share my screen so we get to see what we have in store for you. Yeah, hope you can see my screen. Fine. New Weeks Coaching Series, meeting the challenges of the first year of legal practice, right? So the purpose of the New Weeks Coaching Series. The purpose of this coaching series is to enable new weeks gain clarity and start out on a good pedestal with the ultimate aim of having a soft landing and finding their footing as they join their way into legal practice. This is actually very important because the first year of legal practice is a formative year. So to a large extent, it's the foundation upon which to build a successful legal career. Therefore, how well new weeks, fresh out of law school graduates use this formative year, the strategies, the techniques they adopt now to overcome the challenges peculiar in this formative year, will form the basis upon which to build on in their subsequent year of practice. So, having heard the purpose of this coaching series, let's move on to the challenges. These challenges that newbies will have to overcome in order to have a successful legal career. Challenges faced by first-year lawyers. So the first on the list that we have is legal research. Having to get judicial precedents or statutory laws for each fact and each case can be a daunting task for new weeks for young lawyers. And then preparation of legal processes. This is all encompassing all the legal process there is. Fine, we have draft book, we have textbook that actually bring out the precedents for how to draft legal processes. But having to marry the facts of each case, different cases that come up daily, to these precedents of legal of the legal processes can be a challenging task for young lawyers. Then mastering courtroom procedures. No one will teach you in law school how to raise arguments in court. No one will teach you how to counter or raise objections for such argument. No one will teach you that. So mastering such courtroom procedures and technicalities can be a challenge. Then gaining clarity as the career path to choose. This is very overwhelming. Law is diverse and is a broad sphere. And with emerging areas in law, emerging areas that are coming up now, knowing which area to choose, identifying your area of interest, gaining clarity as the area of interest to choose, the career path to choose can be a challenge. Then financial challenges and low remuneration. You see why I wrote in capital letter? Get why? That one is very important. I don't talk much about it. We'll get to know more about that soon. They're not being carried along in the law firm, no assigned duties. Yes. Most new weeks are hardly carried along with what happens in the law firm, probably because their principals assume that, if I assign a responsibility to this new person might not be diligent enough to do it, or the person even prepares the process, I would have to start correcting. And as a result of that, some new weeks are hardly assigned roles, or hardly assigned duties to do. So that can also be a challenge on its own. They're not knowing what is expected of you in a law firm. Yes, you join a new law firm and they're just at loss about what is happening around you. You are confused. You don't know where to place your hand because you are fresh in the system. You are just fresh out of law school, right? Fine. So that can be a challenge. And finally, we have learning the ropes of legal practice. Yes, law comes with its own technicalities. Maybe while growing up, you see the way lawyers argue in court and you're like, you want to master the ropes of legal practice. Then you are out and you don't know how to be about that. That can be a challenge. So why are these challenges peculiar? Why are they general? Why do most new weeks face them, right? We have that the first on the list is that there's no privilege or a teacher in the law firm to give sufficient guidance. Just like we have maybe probably a head of chamber that heads other lawyers. There's nothing like head of new weeks, so to speak, that gives guidance, step guidance to new weeks, right? Or probably that are there to help them scale through the challenges. Then we have the practical aspect of legal practice is different from the theoretical aspect. Yes, earlier in the other slide, we mentioned the fact that no one will teach in law school how to raise objections in court or how to counter such objections. So in that, we are trying to say that their theoretical aspects is different from real life practice. And finally, we have principles assume that you should know it all, and we learn after making mistakes. But we know how those mistakes that new lawyers make in court can shake their confidence. Those that lose they're embarrassed, actually lose their confidence at the end of the day. So I carried out a survey on these challenges. So let's see what some old wigs, so to speak, those that have experience in legal practice are saying about the challenges they face in their first year. So if you notice at the chart before you, the one that ranked high is mastering courtroom procedure. It goes with a 32.5% and a 22%. So that's like 54% or 55%. So that ranks high. So they're trying to say that one was a major challenge for them when they started practice. Then we have preparation of legal processes. I think the reason why this went next or came second is because I didn't separate it to legal research. So I guess it goes along. That it comes to 45%. Then we have not being carried along. Yes. No, yes, learning the ropes of legal practice. Yes, that comes next. Then not be carried along in law firm duties. That one came next. Yes. And then not knowing what was expected of you. It's a tie. You came together. Then getting a firm to practice too can be a challenge. I actually faced that. I had to struggle looking for a firm in which I'll practice, you know. The high expectation from the law firm without sufficient guidance. Yes. Yes, yes, exactly. So let me, yes, this. So why are these challenges peculiar? Most persons agree with the fact that the reason why those challenges are peculiar or happen or are generalized because people assume you should know it and we learn after making mistakes, even if you don't know it. So that came ranked high, 76.9%. Then we have the practical aspects of law not learned in school. That ranked next, followed by no tutor on the law firm who is willing to provide clarity. Yes. Fine, we know that no one was to feed a newbie. Like they assume we get along, you flow with the practice. They assume that, fine. So what are the implications of these challenges if not properly handled? If newbies or fresh out of law school graduates are able to rise above them? So one on the list is grappling with basic legal procedures in your subsequent years of practice. Basic things you should have mastered in your first year continues to be a challenge in subsequent years of practice, right? Then loss of passion or enthusiasm for the profession, probably because you're just frustrated with the fact that you don't seem to know any legal solution to the problems. Legal problems are tossed at you. So that can actually make one to lose his passion or her passion for the profession. Person just be flowing with the tide. You know, the increased chances of walking away from the profession. I spoke with someone this morning that was like, no, he already has a change of career. Like that was barely 3 months. He has changed careers. So that is a likelihood chance if newbies are unable to rise above those challenges, right? There's an increased chance of walking away from the profession and branching into other sectors. Then, so what are the benefits of today's series? You get to learn the strategies, the tricks, the techniques, and skills that will help you scale through the challenges associated with the first year of legal practice. Then you get a better understanding and direction in legal practice. So that's the benefits of today's series, right? So I'll then stop sharing the screen and I'll call upon our guest speaker. So they share with us their own experience, how they were able to scale through these challenges and more, right? And the advice they have for new weeks, fresh out of law school graduates. So we have Mojuoluwa Livingstone. She's one of our guest speakers, and she will be the first to give her delivery on how on the advice she has for new weeks. So look at the next 2 parts of this series will introduce these speakers. So you get to listen to them. So click to the next part 2 and part 3. This is actually part 1. And you get to hear them as they speak. There are 3 guest speakers actually, right? Mojuoluwa Livingstone.